it's me, and today we're gonna be checking out a true story of a girl with a perfect memory. Remember that time when I was 3 years old and you called me fat? I remember.
I've been listening to my parents fight since before I was born, and I mean that literally. See, it didn't take them long to realize there was something strange about their daughter. As soon as I learned to talk, which happened really fast by the way, I would describe things we had done yesterday or last week. My parents said I remember things in amazing detail.
Meanwhile, I can't even remember what I had for breakfast. Her 5 years old. Perfect memory! I can even remember my parents arguing about the McChicken being cold before I was even born.
I was a genius, and it even got them to stop fighting for a while. See, I didn't even know my parents' constant fighting was weird. It was all I had ever known. When I started going over to my friends' houses to play, I saw how their parents smiled at each other. They seemed happy, and their homes were cozy and warm, where mine felt cold and dark.
Girl, same! I grew up thinking like parents arguing was normal. Your parents love each other? What?
I did the best way to make my parents act normal was to keep impressing them with my memory. The problem was, my amazing memory started getting in my way. At school, sometimes I couldn't concentrate on the lessons because my brain was so full of memories. I could remember everything that happened the day before, the week before, even years before.
I wonder how that works. Y'all brain storage don't get full. Oh, it's fine. Just delete the memories that you don't want.
One day, we took a trip to see my aunt. My parents said it was time to finally meet her and my cousin. This is the way we went when I was a baby, I told them as we drove. My dad turned around and stared at me. What do you mean? We went down these roads and we went to a lady's house. It had cats everywhere. My parents were silent for a long time. You can't remember that far back.
How else would she know those details?
We must have shown her a picture of Aunt Judy's house, but they hadn't. I just remembered it.
I know having a perfect memory sounds great until something traumatic happens in your life, check. And then you literally cannot forget bad things that happen to you. You can like relive them in your head and I don't know, that's scary, man.
I remembered my mom crying on the way there and back. The sound of it had made me cry too. The memory of our crying got stuck in my head and I almost didn't notice we had reached Aunt Judy's. My mom looked upset as we walked to the door. What's wrong? I asked her. She smiled, but it wasn't a real smile. Nothing. Let's go see your aunt.
That's low-key kind of scary. Imagine having a baby or a very small child and remembering everything that's ever happened to you, everything your parents do, because parents be like talking like the baby can't understand them. And that would be super creepy if she was like, I remember coming here as a baby. I remember you crying on the way there and back. Excuse me, what? I would be creeped out.
Judy was nice. My cousin Philip was okay, I guess. I mean, I was at an age where boys were icky. But my parents kept staring at him and saying how beautiful he was and how he was growing up so fast. What's wrong with you? Philip asked. I'm bored. Let's go see the attic. Finally, something exciting. He said we had to be really quiet because he wasn't allowed to go up there. The steps were very narrow and slippery.
So you guys remember the gorgeous dress-up game, Dress Up Time Princess, right? The game is finally released in the US now. I don't have to spend a lot of time dressing myself anymore when I can just use the DIY system to customize my face, skin color, hairstyle, and everything else. I can basically make Aaliyah in the game and dress her up on my phone. And you can also create a cartoon version of yourself. By downloading the game in the description below, you are entered in the giveaway of $10,000 cash, tons of $500 Sephora gift cards, and 100,000 gems in-game. Let me tell you more about the game. So Dress Up Time Princess is a hyper-realistic 3D story dress-up game. There are so many story chapters, so many crazy places that you can go. Step into the palace of Versailles, perhaps the land of Arabia to summon the lamp of Aladdin. Every decision you make while playing the game will affect the rest of the story. So you can basically do whatever you want. There are so many beautiful outfits in this game that I wish I could wear in real life. Every story will have a unique style of outfits that suits the story that it's set in. You got ancient, modern, western, eastern. Look at that. I wish I could wear these in real life. There's also a DIY system where you can DIY your clothes. You can stamp them, make your own accessories. The best part is you never have to be jealous of your friends' looks because you can just snatch them. Hey yo, let me borrow this, and do like fashion swaps with your bestie. You just need to download the game using the link in the description below to be entered to win $10,000 cash and tons of $500 Sephora gift cards and 100,000 gems in game. $350 Dress Up Time Princess gift packs will automatically be offered to everybody downloading the game. So check it out.
We snuck away from our parents and I followed him to the long, dark staircase.
What's in the attic? What kind of dark secret y'all hiding in there? So I made mother cry? Philip, you can do anything but go in the attic.
Hey, I got a new friend. Wanna go to the attic?
We started going up, but I hesitated, feeling like I was in a horror movie, like the darkness would swallow me whole. I started crawling, but I couldn't see where I was putting my feet. I slipped and fell back down the stairs.
Man, she didn't even make it up there. Unless a ghost came out and just like yeeted. Stop right there.
My parents drove me to the hospital. I don't want to go to the hospital. It's too bright there. You've never been to the hospital. When we were there before, it was too bright and everything was cold. My dad looked very confused. I wasn't quite sure how to explain it. It was dark and warm, and then it was like opening a window during a snowstorm. Suddenly it was so white and I was cold. Mom was holding me.
Are you telling me this girl can remember in great detail, like being born? Is that even possible? I would have been weirded out, like, how you know these things? Please don't take me back there. I'm not trying to get born again.
Are you talking about when you were born? That must be it. Mom turned white like a ghost. Don't you ever say that again. Nobody remembers when they are born. Lying is wrong. Getting my broken leg put in a cast hurt.
So now the
I
leg's
mostly
broken.
forgot about the incident for the next few weeks as I struggled to adjust to life with a broken leg. But something had changed. Whenever I told my parents stuff I remembered, they told me I was wrong. No, you weren't wearing the pink dress. You were wearing a green dress that day. It was like they needed to prove to me my memory wasn't perfect. Stop lying. You have a serious problem.
That's not right. Mother, last time I checked, I'm the one with the photographic memory. I remember everything. I remember coming out of a hairy forest the day I was born. Lies and deceit.
My parents said they were taking me to see a psychiatrist. They said I was a pathological liar and needed help. My parents had gone from thinking I was a genius to thinking I was crazy. So I went with them to the psychiatrist. He listened as my parents described how out of control my lying had gotten. I wanted to scream, to say none of this was true. But when he asked for my side of the story, I was afraid to go against my parents. So I just stayed silent.
Dang, that is horrible. Like, imagine having this crazy talent, being able to get like perfect grades, remembering everything in school, and then your parents suddenly like brainwash you like, you're wrong, mother is always right, you ain't special, you're just a liar.
By the time I got into high school, I felt like a ghost. I was a bad student and I didn't have any friends. But one morning, I forgot to take my pill. I had an amazing day at school. I could actually focus for once, and I impressed my teachers with all the stuff I memorized. I felt like a new person up in front of the class giving my speech. I didn't need to use my note cards at all. Afterward, the teacher kept me after class. She said I should join the debate team, which traveled around competing with other schools in the state. She thought it would be good for me if I got up to debate at a competition, and everything out of my mouth was pure BS.
And that's how you make a good lawyer. Or you could take this debate class. Finna debate my mom about these memories.
I have to go, I said. Then I ran home. But the teacher kept asking me every day, until finally, I agreed to come to a debate club meeting. I did really well as part of the club. I couldn't tell my parents about my new hobby, so I said I was staying after school for tutoring.
I'm surprised they weren't like, tutoring? You need to be tutored? I thought you could just like remember the stuff. I thought she was gifted. Way to just take her talent, throw it in the trash. And for dinner, we gonna eat some grass.
At my first match against another school, I felt ready to go out there and win. Until I saw my opponent. It was my cousin Philip. I barely recognized him. We caught up before the match, and he was nice and fun to talk to. We even watched my story animated together on my phone.
They watched this channel together on their phone. What? So he gonna spill the beans? What's in the attic? Cause I'm so caught up on that. It's like the whole anticipation, like Attack on Titan. What was in the basement? What's in the attic?
At the end, the judge declared me the winner. I was so excited. I wasn't going to be able to put my ribbon anywhere, because if my parents saw, I would be in huge trouble.
I don't know what kind of household you would show your parents like, look, I joined the club, I won a contest. Who wouldn't be proud of their child? Everyone's parents would be proud. She just lied her way to win. Nobody's parents gonna tell you that.
He noticed I was sad and said, "It was a good match. Do you feel like going out for ice cream?" We did, and we had such a fun evening together.
You wanna get ice cream? Pulls out a coupon for best ice cream in town.
I can't believe how well you had your talking points memorized, he told me. It had been so long since someone thought my memory was awesome. I felt a strong connection with Philip, and I didn't want to go home. We agreed we would video chat online and help each other with our debate skills. Even though you're my rival.
Ma'am, I'm gonna have to ask you to stay 6 feet away. That's your cousin.
We stayed in touch, and when we saw each other at another match, we spent the evening together again. We ended up talking about our crushes. He had a crush on the president of his school's Spanish club, and I had a crush on one of the baseball players at my school. I don't even know how to kiss.
I don't know how to kiss. Let me read a book. How to kiss for dummies. Bro, that neck motion is a start.
You can practice on me if you want. Gross! I said, even though I knew he was teasing. We're cousins! cousins. He stuck his lips out, joking, like he was waiting for me to try it. I leaned in until my lips were almost against his. Suddenly, we both pulled away and fell backwards, laughing like hyenas.
Psych! You really thought I was gonna kiss you?
I felt such a strange connection to him. Not like a crush exactly, just like we were meant to become friends.
You know, all that memory and she can't remember how to spell friend.
I was walking on air until I saw my mom waiting for me. She held up my medication bottle and rattled the pills. "Explain this." She sounded furious. "You should be almost done with this bottle by now. We should be calling in for a refill."
Bruh, just empty it, throw it away. Like, I've been taking these.
I cried so hard. My sobs brought back a memory from a long, long time ago. My mom grabbed my arm, but then she looked at me and started crying too. She let me go. The sound of us both crying brought the memory back clearer than ever. We were in the car, driving away from Aunt Judy's. But this time, I could see not just her and Dad in the front seats, but the empty seat beside me. I gasped and stared at my mom. Philip was my brother.
What?
She was crying too hard to reply. I remember. We were born together. We were born in your arms. And then, stop! My mother screamed. You don't remember that. You drove us both to Aunt Judy's, but you only brought me home.
What? There's always some crazy plot twist at the end. Y'all from a family of mages because they can only have one that practices magic. So they had to give the other one away.
You're a liar. No, I shouted back. I'm not. Suddenly, I heard my dad's voice. They told me how my mom had wanted an only child so badly. When they'd found out they were pregnant with twins, they made secret arrangements to give one of the babies to Aunt Judy, who couldn't have kids. She had to see her other child, so we visited Aunt Judy. But after that night, her guilt got worse. She knew she had to do something to keep me from remembering the truth. I couldn't believe it. My mom's lies had ruined most of my life.
I would lock your mother away. Like, she put you through all that. But what? She was the liar. And now she gonna call you the liar? Hello, CPS. That's illegal.
I wasn't ready to forgive her yet, but she promised we'd have a meeting with Aunt Judy and Philip and figure out a way to repair our broken family. I realized then that she truly did love me.
What a horrible mother. So she had twins and she was like, oh no, we gonna have to get rid of one of these. I want my child to grow up an only child. Y'all have some problems. We ain't gonna act like this was a happy ending. Smash like not happy ending. This messed up. Dysfunctional family check. But anyways, that's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button in the face. And make sure you turn on notifications. Click, and subscribe to the Wolf Pack. I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.